Miss Ariel here, and you clicked on Flowers Are Calling, and the words are by Rita Gray, and the pictures are by Kenard Pak. Flowers are calling a little black bear. Do you see him? No, not a bear. He doesn't care. They're calling a butterfly to dip from the air. Flowers are calling a wet green frog. No, not a frog. She likes soggy bogs. They're calling a bumblebee to look near their log. Flowers are calling a porcupine. No, not a porcupine. She wouldn't take the time. They're calling a hummingbird to sip at their vine. Have you seen a hummingbird? They're pretty fast. You have to have really good eyes to see them. Oh, we're going to learn about some flowers next. These are Queen Anne's lace. Butterflies like a landing pad when they are drinking nectar. How cool are those? And we have monk's hood. Bumblebees are hefty enough to push deep inside a monk's hood flower where nectar is stored. And there's the trumpet honeysuckle. Hummingbirds use their long tongues to reach the nectar hidden deep in the tumbler flowers and hover as they drink. Wow, those are awfully pretty, huh? Flowers are calling a loud blue jay. No, not a jay. He wouldn't stay. They're calling a honeybee to fly their way. Of course, honeybees like to be with flowers. Flowers are calling a little moose. No, not a moose. What would be the use? They're calling a beetle to eat their pollen loose. Flowers are calling a rabbit to stop. No, not a rabbit. It's not their habit to call a rabbit. He might grab it. They're calling a bee fly to visit their spot. Wow. Ooh, we get to learn about more flowers. Apple tree blossom. Honeybees help make many of the fruits, nuts, and vegetables we eat by pollinating fruit tree blossoms such as the apple tree. There are also thousands of varieties of wild bees that help to make many of the foods we eat. I did not know that. How cool. Ooh, a magnolia. Beetles have been visiting flowers for more than 100 million years. That's a lot of years. And then we're going to see the violets. Bee flies look like bumblebees, but have 2 wings instead of 4. Like hummingbirds, they are able to hover their furry bodies in the air as they drink the nectar. Those are pretty flowers. Flowers are calling a small brown snake. No, not a snake, for goodness sake. They're calling a pollen wasp with nectar to take. I think so too. Flowers are calling a fat raccoon. No, not a raccoon. He doesn't care for white bloom or sweet perfume. They're calling a moth in the light of the moon. Do you see the moth? Flowers are calling a desert deer. No, not a deer. He can't even get near. They're calling a nectar bat to flap over here. Oh, wow, look at that. Ooh, here's some more flowers. Blowout bird tongue. Blowout beard tongue. Pollen wasps, like bees, make loaves of nectar and pollen to feed their young. And then we have the garden cactus. Lesser long-nosed bats have long tongues that can reach the nectar deep inside the bell-shaped flowers of garden cactus. These cactus flowers unfurl for just one short night. And then we have the moonflower and Carolina sphinx moth. Sphinx moths are expert flyers with very long tongues. Like garden cactus, the blooms of moonflowers open for just one night and depend on the nighttime visits of moths for pollination. Oh my gosh, it's a very short window, but they do look pretty, huh? flowers are calling a busy wren. No, not a wren. He's already seen them. They're calling some children to look again. The end. Well, that was a fun story. I think so. We learned what animals go to pollinate flowers. We learned what other type of flowers are out there. There's not just daisies and tulips. There's a whole bunch of different flowers out there. Don't forget to click around and see what else you can find.